This is Matt once again from Real Talk and Business.
I don't even remember the last time I sat down and just watched a whole news episode. It's been a while. I haven't sat down and watched a news episode in years. I'm not riddled with fear. I'm not riddled with anger. I'm not riddled with animosity. I'm not riddled with nervousness. The news causes division within human beings. The news causes anxiety. If you're feeling worried and you have all of this fear and you're feeling nervous and you're feeling angry, then what purpose is it serving you then? Is the news putting any money in your pocket? Is it bringing joy and happiness in your life? What purpose is the news actually serving you? For the most part. What is it serving you? How is it serving you? Is it serving you? That's why the news gets so many views and millions of hits, because it's a great control mechanism. They study all of that. They know what to put in the titles and everything to make you feel a certain way, to trigger a response from you. You got to be on top of it, man. You have to look after your peace and happiness and tranquility in yourself, in your life. You have to guard this. If not, you will be controlled. If not by the news, by somebody else. You see, don't take everything for face value. Hey, they're not going to get me. They're not going to get me and my soul. I already made up my mind about that. They're not going to trap me. So that's why I turned it off. And as I said before, all of these news episodes and the nonsense that they want to dish out is way out of your control. It doesn't make any sense to worry about things that's out of your hands, that's out of your control. And as I said in the previous video, you have to use your common sense. You know, you can't totally avoid it, but you can do the best you can to cut down on all of this fear and all of this nervousness and anger. You could do your best to cut that down. Is the news in your best interest? Are they looking after your health? Because if you're happy, then you're not distracted. You're living your life. You're being successful. You're making money. You're building relationships and you're traveling. You're not distracted when you're happy and you're not afraid of the world. But if they got you afraid, they got you upset and angry with whoever in society or whatever in society, then they can control you. They can manipulate you. You see, they can cause more havoc and destruction. They want to keep piling in the stories to dish at you. They want more cases. Another thing too, people are drawn to drama. I mentioned this before. And the news knows this. Because if the news just kept showing positive stories, uplifting stories, nurturing, fulfilling stories, then people will just get bored. Most people would get bored of that. People want to see the negative stories, so they can keep their ratings up, and they know this. They already know it. They already studied the psychology. They already studied the psychology of the average viewer. Yeah, and I knew several people back in the day, years ago. That's all they would talk about is the news. Always something tragic they're talking about. That was from the news. Too depressing. You don't want to be around people that's always depressing, whether they're talking about the news or something else. You want people that's going to uplift your spirits and bring you up. Yeah, that's all they was talking about. Kept talking about the news. This happened. It's always something tragic. And it was getting depressing. I was like, I don't want to keep hearing this all the time. You know, I got to move on. I got to find other people to talk to that's more uplifting and more positive. You see, I'm not saying we have to be positive every single second of our lives. Of course, there's things that are negative that we should discuss. But I mean, come on now. Come on, we can't just consume our lives with negativity all the time. That's why it's good to be aware of what's in your reach, what's in your boundary, what's in your life, what's in your control. That's what you should be aware of, because that's going to affect you directly. Most of what you see on the news is not going to affect you directly. Pay attention to things that's going to affect you directly, or anybody you know directly, any loved ones that you know directly. Anything else, you're just wasting your time. because nothing is going to change no matter how mad you get about it, no matter how frustrated and furious you get about it. You're just pulling your energy down. You're utilizing your energy in the wrong places. Now, the news does inform you about different situations, maybe a random death of somebody you might know, but it doesn't create any fear in you. It doesn't create any anxiety in you. It's not going to keep you in the house. It's not going to keep you from talking to certain people. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things that's going to trigger fear in you, that's going to stop you from living your life, that's going to keep you nervous and jittery and filled with anxiety all the time. And this here is most of what you see on the news. And it's not about being heartless, it's about being wise. We're not superheroes. We're not Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. We can't save the world. We're only human beings. If you try to spread your emotions into a million pieces in society to everything that goes bad, you will feel the effects. That's not being wise. That's not using good judgment. So you got to use your good judgment and use your time wisely while you're here in society.
This is Matt from Real Talk and Business, and I see you in the next one.